Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Pro Wrestling Throwdown. It's the October 3rd, 2020 edition. I know this is going to go so bad.
I love this segment.
I'm Caleb Black. This is Luke the Big Dog Williams, our in-studio producer, the Mighty Max Fury.
Orton, represent!
Time for wrestling conspiracy theories. Once again, we include rumors. We make shit up on this segment. None of this is supposed to be taken seriously.
I still think my favorite from last week was Rikishi didn't do it for the rest.
Selfish bastard. I've got one. Actually, that's sort of rooted in reality. Remember when, so it was after, because we were just talking about Edge, after Matt Hardy gets fired, Edge's car gets trashed in real life. And they thought Jeff did it. But Jeff was gone, and Jeff had an alibi, and it wasn't him. I believe it was. And if it wasn't Jeff, it was like Shannon Moore, somebody close to Matt Hardy.
It's really sad that you would say this, because my conspiracy theory has to do with Jeff Hardy and
yeah,
Edge.
It was Jeff. Jeff trashed Edge's car.
That's a possibility.
What's your conspiracy?
I think Jeff won.
My conspiracy was that when Matt found the text messages from Lita to Edge, really it was to Jeff, and Jeff was just using Edge's phone to stay in the clear, and Edge took one for the team.
I can't even begin to process.
Think about it, though, man.
That's horrible.
And that's why he had an alibi why he didn't destroy Edge's car.
Why he wasn't
because he was in on it.
So who trashed Edge's car? It was just Edge and
Lita. Because she's a spiteful bitch.
Who taught the trifling spiteful ass bitch?
Anyway,
horrible.
I gotta say, there's a really big conspiracy going on right now. Because Randy Orton got really rude on Sunday. I believe there's a giant conspiracy that thinks Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre can suck it and stop cheating.
Drew McIntyre, you dishonest.
and quit looking for revenge because you have no option to look for revenge. I think, okay, no, seriously, no. We're going to get into this.
Oh,
yes.
I think I know where we're going.
Maybe Vince McMahon actually did send Kevin Nash and Scott Hall to WCW?
Yeah, I can see that.
Maybe he sent Russo.
Oh, he definitely sent Russo. Anyone who doesn't think he sent Russo's out of their mind.
Here's one. Montreal wasn't a work.
Montreal was real? That's your conspiracy theory?
Yeah.
Is it more of a conspiracy theory that it actually happened than it wasn't a work?
Yeah, but everybody looks at it like that. I'm looking at it from the outside looking in that it was a
legitimate occurrence. Yeah. I don't know.
Where do things have happened? I mean, Edge let Jeff his phone, so
that's not what
I love how you
because I've played this game with you before.
Yeah, 3 videos on wrestling. A pretty popular conspiracy. Brett screwed Brett.
Literally. With his own penis. Just wrap that fucking thing around it.
Conspiracy theory, do you believe that the Ultimate Warrior really did walk into the shower with Linda McMahon?
Yes.
I do too.
Yes, I do.
It's a great conspiracy theory.
Here's a conspiracy theory, and this one's weird, right? Warrior died the day after, the literal day after he came to WWE. He made up with everybody. He did the Hall of Fame, and then he did the Warrior induction, right?
Right.
What if he knew he was going to die?
I actually believe that to be true.
What if he knew that, what if he knew, tomorrow was his last day, and he was just like, all right, I'm going to go, and I'm going to make amends, and we're going to do this Warrior thing, and then I'm out.
I honestly believe that when people come close to death and they have something wrong with them, they do tend to feel
remorse.
To feel that their time, when their time's up, they know it, or they know that it's coming.
What if he sold his soul, made the 10-year deal or whatever, and then the Hellhounds came to collect the next day? Yeah, it's a Vince. He didn't sell his soul. He just sold his Twitch account.
You know what I say about Vince McMahon?
So he's the fucking devil?
No. What? There's a popular conspiracy theory.
That's his evil twin brother, because the real Vince died in the limo.
Yeah, Roderick is what his name is. Roderick McMahon. Shout out.
It's not his real twin. It's not his twin. It's just his brother. Anyway, go ahead.
Still. What's
your theory on Vince McMahon?
You don't want to know that.
Yes, I do.
You don't want to just say it out loud. Say it. It's going to be like it was last time.
Say it.
Vince McMahon's really a woman.
Vanessa?
Oh my God.
Because in my experience of being married, women usually ruin things. And look at WWE today, case in point, win for me. Again, my opinions don't reflect the opinions of Pro Wrestling Throwdown.
We did say we were going to make some of these up just for fun. Here's the weird part. I'm having trouble thinking of crazy ones just to make up. Like, I want them to be grounded in some real form of reality.
You want professional wrestling to be grounded in reality?
No.
Have you watched the product, sir?
Just the outside.
Here's one for you. Randy Orton, baby, up top.
Yeah! Okay, the conspiracy is that Randy Orton's not champion.
Here's a conspiracy.
Go ahead.
Chad Gable is actually Kurt Angle's son, and the reason that they said Jason Jordan was to save Kurt Angle's marriage.
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
He looks just like the guy.
They're also the same height. Similar wrestling ability, similar body build. I could buy it. I could buy it. Not the worst thing to happen.
Joey Ryan really touched those girls?
Oh.
I can say what I want.
We have to go there.
Actually, he's a piece of shit.
Joey Ryan is a piece of shit.
Eats a fucking broadside of the end of a fucking
stupid prick.
Big ass boot.
Oh, fucking hate Joey Ryan.
Fucking love conspiracy theory videos.
Yeah, this one kind of got away from us.
Fucking love it. Let's get all of our anger out.
Oh, boy. You want to talk about anger? I think that AEW is paying Dave Meltzer. I think he's on the fucking cut. I think he's on the take. Because never in a million fucking years, out of Meltzer's 30-some-odd year career of reporting wrestling, has he ever been this fucking lost, this fucking confused or confusing. He also has never taken shit so personally as he does. You'll notice now his Twitter trend. He responds to every single criticism. And in the 90s and early 2000s, Meltzer didn't give a fuck if you criticized him. But he's Trump washed.
Here's the deal with Meltzer. No one cares what you think. Seriously. No one cares what a wrestling journalist thinks.
You're a journalist about a fake sport.
You do your pro wrestling illustrated stuff that he did back in the day. I don't think he's a member of that anymore, is he? He's just PW Insider now. Regardless, those magazines are a gimmick. The interviews, most of them, ask Jericho, ask any of these wrestlers, never took place. It's all freelance.
Yeah, it's a gimmick about a gimmick. It's a hat on a hat.
Half the time the interviews that take place in those magazines, I didn't know if you actually knew this, aren't actually real interviews. Like a writer will sit down and basically make up questions and answers for the wrestlers themselves. Sometimes the wrestlers don't even get interviewed.
Yeah. Meltzer has just
changes your whole aspect.
As I'm concerned, any WWE or sports journalist should have some sort of experience in what they're
being in what they're doing.
Now, to counter that, I think that you can be in the same way sports journalists are that haven't played baseball professionally or played football professionally. You can understand history, you can understand statistics, you can understand what a good player is. You can in the same market.
You can understand all of that, but still not understand what the fuck's going on.
But that's my point. With this particular sport, this particular entertainment industry, however it is you want to look at it, the statistics are marginally based on how it's booked. Yes, you have to be talented enough to do your job in the ring, but we've seen it. You can be the most talented wrestler in the world with all of the charisma, all of the natural gifts, everything, but if a booker, a promoter, doesn't put you in the position to succeed, it doesn't matter. Zack Ryder is the perfect example of that. The fans are the ones who got behind him, and what did we see happen on television?
Hold on. I think I get what you're saying, and I agree with it 100%. What he's saying is someone like Meltzer who cuts down other people's opinions like you said,
right.
He goes through there. Unless you've been through the ropes, you have no right to say your opinion means any more than
an outside view. They should know a little bit about what's going on behind the scenes. So they actually know they're not reporting false bullshit.
Well, remember too, Meltzer at the time had hundreds of contacts inside WCW, inside the WWF, inside the NWA.
But that's not the same. That's not the same. Okay, but not the same.
Right. What I'm saying, though, is in order to make that statement right there, then you couldn't have a sports journalist unless they were a professional baseball player.
No, that's not. They need to be behind the scenes. They need to understand what the goings on.
Right. Meltzer does that.
Not anymore.
Not anymore is what I'm saying.
That's what we're talking about. You need to have that background knowledge before you start.
Well, like I said, he did. But he's just lost his fucking mind.
Yeah, he has lost
and he's got to be getting paid by AEW. Has to be. There's no way that he's not taking their money.
And he has to be taking money.
Unless he's got fucking early onset dementia.
Well, I mean, look at him.
Which,
he doesn't look like he's not slow.
And then, like the other day, he started cutting down a Miro promo. Where Miro debuted on AEW.
Yeah.
And Miro, made the comment about sticking the brass ring up your ass. And then Meltzer referenced another interview we had with Miro, and when Miro's like, I'm not going to go, I'm not going to talk bad about the WWE, whatever. And he starts tearing apart like, oh, Miro, you're a lying piece of shit. You went on there and you talked about how fucking the WWE was. Like, who? He's getting over it. That's his fucking job.
First off, the whole point of that is that he read a promo that was written and told to him what to say. That's how professional wrestling works. You're told to do this, you go out, you do your job. Period.
Yeah.
Miro, even though he didn't want to do it, Tony Khan pays his checks. Tony Khan says, hey, you know that brass ring thing he talks about?
Yep.
Tell him to shove it up their ass,
that's exactly
and I'll pay you to do
That's exactly what's happening with Meltzer.
That's how it works.
Hey, give this street fight between two mid-card tag teams a 5-star rating for me.
Yeah,
you got it, boss.
I'll give you $20 million.
Right, now defend the decision on Twitter to every single person because you have nothing better to do.
Because you have no way of not exposing somebody.
Yes, he's on the tape. Well, and he used to be like his number one. You're hard pressed to find a better wrestling historian. That's a fact.
Cornette.
Cornette even puts over Meltzer as a.
Yeah, and they don't know why.
But again, if you look at his body of work, he understands the history of pro wrestling.
I mean, I guess.
He understands how pro wrestling is supposed to work, and he was very critical of even the best matches. That was how he developed his right. That's how he developed his respect and his repertoire. And as soon as AEW comes around, all of a sudden his grading system allocates for garbage matches to be higher ranked than some of the absolute best matches in wrestling ever, not just in the WWF. We're talking some of the greatest matches that happened in the NWA, the AWA.
Well, you know what? So this is kind of getting away from us a little bit. I'm going to bring it back a little bit. I'm going to say that there's a conspiracy that Vince is paying him.
Vince is paying him to illustrate AEW so AEW draws criticism.
It's not far-fetched.
That's actually really brilliant.
That's
really brilliant.
That's actually really good.
And that's such a Vince move.
It would be.
It would make AEW topical, but it would also, we acknowledge that it's horseshit, so it makes AEW look like the bad guy. Vince McMahon.
Touche, Sussman.
Touche, sir. Guys, that's all we got time for Conspiracy Theory. Sorry we went off on a tangent about how shitty a person Dave Meltzer is.
But, when you got grapes.
Make wine.
Yep.
Just send us an email at prowrestlingthrowdown@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/prowrestlingthrowdown. Like, subscribe, and leave us a comment down below. Tell us what you guys think of the new segment, the new format, and stay tuned, because I believe that we are talking about the 30-year anniversary coming up for Chris Jericho in the wrestling business. It's coming up next. Okay.